Howdy folks, and welcome to Mainely Acres. Alrighty folks, this is what I've been up to. We've been doing quite a bit of spring cleaning here on the homestead, and we found a huge box of material. So I have a lot of projects coming up. So this is just some of the material that we found in the box, and my wife found a lot of this material at yard sales, and believe it or not, I believe she picked up a whole box of all this material for like a couple bucks. So we found it in the closet, and we figured we'd pull it out and get to making some stuff. You guys can see here's the rest of the material there in that box, and it's still about over halfway full. So let's I'm gonna go through some of that stuff here while I got you guys on the camera and show you what we have. This is really cool. This is it reminds me of like a sunny summer day, and it's got the wheat and the dandelions on it, so I thought that was pretty cool. You got some of this stuff. And that's real nice. It's kind of like the same pattern, except this has just the wheat on it. And then we have some solid colors. And I think this would be really cool. It's kind of like a backing on this stuff here, because this stuff here is kind of see-through. So I thought that would be cool for that. Let's see what else we got in here. Oh, this is really cool. Has some horses on there. Just a whole bunch of scenes. It's got a blimp on there. Some swans. It looks like it's kind of a, I don't know what you would call that. It's kind of interesting, I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. This stuff here, now this stuff is pretty thick, it feels like, but breathable too, if that makes sense. Got that. Here's a floral print here. Some of this stuff here, kind of like a flannel. Some more of that. So I thought that was really cool. She got this box here for maybe a couple bucks. And all this material. I think she actually bought a few boxes. And it's pretty amazing. She's trusting me with this material here, because I'm actually planning on making a couple dresses for her in different styles. And I was really kind of inspired by Rain Country Homestead, because she has a really good video on how to make like a, I believe it's called a pioneer type dress. And Miss Stacy over at Off Grid with Doug and Stacy has one. And so I thought, well, hey, while we were doing some spring cleaning, we came across all this. I was like, it'd be nice to make my wife some dresses, because she really doesn't have a lot of time. She's always working and always doing stuff for us. So I figured, what a better way to pay her back than to make her a few dresses and whatnot. Because I know she would really enjoy doing these kinds of things, but just there's not a lot of time. And this was cool. This was in there, some patterns for different style type dresses. And we got some blue and gold, or kind of like a turquoise blue and gold fringe. I don't know what I'm going to use that for, but I'll throw that in there. So I just wanted to show you guys some of the stuff we found in our spring cleaning, and I will show you guys something that I completed today. Alrighty, so here it is. I have already finished one dress for her. This was some material that was in that box as well. And I did a little bit of research and looking up on how to do women's dresses / skirts. I'm pretty sure these are considered skirts, where I think dresses are kind of like the one-piece thing. You guys can tell I really don't do this quite often, but yeah, so we'll call it a skirt. So this is the first skirt that I've ever done. Now, I do a lot of leather craft working and using my leather sewing machine, but this is the first time that I've actually used her sewing machine. So look at that trust there. How many of you guys can say that your wife would trust you with their sewing machine? So that was a good trust exercise. But anyway, this is the first time I've used her sewing machine, or like a clothing type sewing machine. And this is definitely the first piece of clothing I've ever made. So I'm pretty sure if I can do this, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys can do it. And you can see I went ahead and pleated it. And I sewed this waistband in there, and what this was is just some leftover material from this when I cut it, and I cased it and sewed some what they call, I believe, buttonholes into the waistband here, and then cut through it so that way I could pull the drawstring through, and when it washes it doesn't fray. So that was a pretty cool idea. I've seen a couple of people on YouTube that do these type of what they call buttonhole stitching for when they do the drawstring, and I thought that was really cool, because the other option I was going to do was just going to have the waistband seam in the front and then run the drawstring through that, but then you really can't connect them together, and I just thought it would look kind of tacky. So I went ahead and sewed the buttonholes in there, and as you guys can see, there's some pleats in it. It has the drawstring. I made the drawstring as well. Just cased over the same leftover material and made the drawstrings. And I attached everything here in the back. So the seam is here, runs down the back, and that's where I attached the waistband. So basically I pinned the waistband to the skirt when it was all flat, and then after I got the two together, then I went ahead and sewed the seam down the back. So I thought that was pretty cool. There's only one seam on the dress, and it's hidden in the back here. And then you guys can see, Hank gets out of the way. I went ahead and sewed it all the way to here just to give her some room, you know, when she's bending over or doing whatever in the garden. So that way it gives a little extra room. And if she doesn't like it that short up, I can always sew it down a little bit further for her. So I figured that would be a good start, and then when she comes home I'll have her try it on and see what she thinks. Alrighty guys, get out there, sew your wife a dress or a skirt, and I tell you what, you will be surprised of how they really appreciate it. So I figured I'd shoot this video for you guys so you can get some ideas, or for you ladies, you know, if I, having no experience, can do this, and I thought it came out pretty good. You guys let me know in the comments of what you think. This is, like I said, the first piece of clothing I've ever made, and I did it on her, I think it's a Singer Simple machine. So that's it. Alrighty, if you guys are interested in making dresses and skirts and whatnot, there's a lot of good YouTubers out there to watch, but I really like Rain Country Homestead because that's where I was really inspired to get into making the dresses and the skirts for my wife. And I do plan on making one of the styles that she makes, which I believe she calls the Frontier or the Pioneer dress. So when I get that all complete, I'll definitely upload a video of that as well. So get out there and do it. Talk to you guys later.